And hello, and welcome back to Chaos Child. Last time, preparations for the school festival. Yeah. I will say, one thing I will know about this game so far. It's a slow start. Despite all the deaths at the very beginning, since then it's been very slow to build up to what it wants to really get into stuff. So, it's not that it's not interesting, but it definitely probably... I'm gonna say this feels like the case for a lot of visual novels, where they tend to make things like 1.5 times as long as they need to be, to the point where it starts to... can we start getting to the new big thing? Sort of situations, yeah? Okay. Continuing on, Shinjo took out a picture of the face of the man who stabbed Kurusu and showed it to Kunasato. So you guys are tracking this?
そちらの読み通り、こいつと病院に入院していた例のイラストレーターとはつながりがあった。
There we go. You're aware of that? So my guess about those two, with the old man and the little girl, is that the old man is the one who's supposed to be the illustrator, but the girl's the real one. And it's sort of like a guy's like, this old crazy man. And then she's around a lot because she needs to take care of him or something. Because she's like his granddaughter or something. That might not even be true, I don't know. That's my guess of that. Kunasato didn't really react. So what do you mean by connected? Like, they actually know them, or they're basing it off some of that stuff, or... she listened to him speak as if she knew everything he was going to say already.
同じ高校の同級生だ。一時は原作と絵を2人で分担して共同のペンネームで漫画を描いていたこともあるらしい。
Interesting.
そいつらが一連の猟奇殺人の犯人だという可能性は、アリバイはあるのか？
That is a really close connection. So what did he say? What did he say? What did Kurusu say that he said? Something about ignoring stuff? It's been a little while since I recorded the last episode.
2人とも1年ほど前から病室もしくは部屋に引きこもりだ。イラストレーターの方は病院の監視カメラにもその記録が残ってる。
Oh, they got something wrong? We physically saw them outside of the room, so...
壁砲の生徒を刺した男の方は家族の証言に頼るしかないが、警察に駆けつけてきたとき。
So, wait. So we're saying both... This doesn't go back very far. Huh. Okay, well, they're aware the girl, I assume the girl, might be connected to ill doings or other things like that. And then a phone rang. Kunasato picked it up without saying a word to Shinjo.
私です。
Ooh. Even from here, you can tell exactly how annoyed Arimura Hinai was. I still don't know if that's Hinai or Hinae, or I never remember how the Japanese handle AE. But Kunasato cut her off before she could say a word.
ごねるつもりか、それとも報告か。どっちだ？
Or Hinae. I'm just gonna go Hinai from now on. I don't know. Even if I'm wrong, I don't know. That's easier to remember. So these two are directly in contact. Well, she seems like the right person to be making the conversations.
そういうところが。
Well, if they're talking now, then she's probably under a lot of pressure. Kunasato had no intention of listening to her complaints. Did she do as she was told? Did she get any results? That's all Kunisada wanted to hear.
どっちなんだ？
伝えました。これでいいんですよね。
Interesting. Okay.
よし。明日は当然お前も立ち会え。直接だ。出なければ意味がない。
こういうのやめてもらえませんか？いろいろめんどくさいんです。私はあなた方に協力する気は。
Kunisada hung up before she could finish her sentence. Shijo was glaring at her.
どうした？続けろ。
今のは有村さんだろう。こちらに無断で進めるのはやめてくれないか。
代替案のない批判は誹謗に過ぎないし、誹謗は暇人か無能であることの証明だぞ。続けろ。
Well, that was stupid. I gotta be honest, as arrogant as you are, he actively offered an alternative plan of telling him stuff before you do it. That's literally what that was the entire premise of what he said.
お前な。
Shijo frowned, dissatisfied, but gave up and flipped through the papers he was holding.
どこまで話したんだった？
壁法の生徒を刺した男の家族の証言。
ああ。男の家族が警察に駆けつけてきた時の第一声は、息子が人を刺すなんてありえないではなく、息子が外出するなんてありえないだったそうだ。
Oh. Son. So it wouldn't be someone who grew up with the old man. It would be someone who grew up with the girl, presumably? I would assume that would have to be it, yeah?
猟奇殺人が起こった日も絶対に家から出ていないと言っている。
Kunisada looked upward for a second, as if lost in thought.
その証言、信用してもいいとは思うな。男の作っているイカれたページが事件のあった時刻に更新されているし、まあそれが偽装と言い切れなくもないが、精神鑑定は？
What would be the point of faking a timestamp like that? Unless you're like 1,000 steps ahead of everyone else. That feels like such an arbitrary red herring for someone completely unrelated with everyone, knowing that this person is going to, well, I guess maybe they already made it. Still.
相変わらず救世主がどうのこうのと繰り返している。
メガロマニアか。
Kunisada frowned as if she was annoyed.
イラストレーターは2007年頃何をしていた
？2007年はまだ地方だ。九州だな。
2007 would have been 8 years ago in this time. So, anyone we're talking about could be alive and active during that time frame.
確かか。
ああ。2008年末に東京に越してきて、その時高校で傷害の犯人と一緒になった。
なるほど。当てが外れたな。釣れたのは結局結界説なんかの妄想に逃げ込む奴らだけか。
Oh boy. So I'm around the same age as this illustrator then, eh? Interesting. Well, that's around the time frame I started going to high school, so. Suddenly she leaned back in her chair, seemingly bored.
結局そいつらは猟奇殺人に関しては白だったか。単なる力士シールの模倣犯の可能性が高いな。
模倣犯？
Interesting. That would explain why the whole room was filled with that, right? If they're trying to give the impression, so it could be a purposeful red herring. The fact that the whole room was filled with that, if they're trying to act on the down low, isn't that really suspicious? Now that you mention it, why would you fill the entire room with it? The idea would probably you'd want to get across the idea that it's this crazed illustrator who's just in there doing this all the time, etc., 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 etc. But if you're part of some, like, wider plot, it feels like it's a purposeful red herring, doesn't it?
アリバイが確立している以上、まあある程度だが、事件との直接のつながりは薄い。間接的につながるとしたら、力士シールに関することだけ。原作と絵に分かれていたということは、絵を描くのはイラストレーターの方だったんだろう。力士シールが最初に発見されたのは2007年頃の東京だ。が、その頃そいつは九州にいた。漫画で芽が出ず、承認欲から悪ふざけで力士シールの作者を名乗り、お互いに精神を病んで、片方は持ち前の画力を生かして力士シールに取りつかれ、もう片方は物語でも書いているつもりでそれを妄想のネタにした。無論確証のない推測だが、どの道すぐにわかる。それよりも、
I'd be curious about the previous Sumo stickers. How close is that design to the current design? The one we're seeing at the... So we know the design we saw, at least I'm assuming, the design we saw at the hospital is the same as the one that's showing up at the scenes of death, right? So I guess a thought that comes to mind is the idea of, like, what if they just... What if it was it different before, I guess is the question. If they just copycatted it prior during the previous incident when they got popular, then is it just an artifact from that time? Why is the same? Or because that's a confounding element to it, right? It doesn't necessarily mean a connection outside of something as small as that, right? What was more concerning was the fact that the man hadn't left his room for years. Would he really leave it? Would he really leave it just because he learned about a bunch of stickers appearing? And that was where the illustrator was kept. During the New Generation Madness, there were rumors that the hospital was involved with a certain religious organization that had been involved in that particular case. Huh. It was also supposedly related to Koshin, the company involved in the restoration work that had resulted in security cameras all over town.
俺は正直半信半疑だぞ。こんないたずら書きみたいなシールが事件に関係しているなんて。
なら安心しろ。明日は別口だ。
Kinesada opened the file she saved on her PC.
これは
明日、駅法の新聞部と対談を行う渡部の記事だ。
お前が影で接触して炎上を煽ったあのネット記者か。
All my theories, it's like, oh my goodness, they're manipulating these people from behind the scenes and stuff like. It's all her. It's all her every time. So is that what you did? I suppose that would make sense. You saw one thing go up, and it's not too difficult to assume that would happen, I guess. She nodded and then opened up a picture of the photo of the Sumo sticker that was taken at the scene. Then she lined it up against the one in the article. She just stared at it for a moment, and then he realized.
表情が違ってる？
渡部は今回のこと以外でも様々な現場に潜入しては大量のスクープ画像をものにしている。その数があまりにも多いため、一部の人間が捏造だと言って専門家たちに調査を求めた。渡部は快く応じ、その結果、画像には一切改ざんの跡は見られなかった。
I mean, what I think he does, most likely, is that he probably gets some semblance of photos so he could have somewhat accurate stuff to base it on, then just recreates it somewhere, right? Like, he probably had a photo that was blurry enough and didn't see the sticker clearly enough to notice that there was a design difference, so he took a picture of it somewhere else that had a very similar background. That's why the picture doesn't really show anything off to the side. It's just a very similar wall that had a sticker thrown on it. Shinjo figured out what she was trying to say. No way, he whispered to himself.
明日有村に確認させる。もしそうであれば。
You could also have some random supernatural ability, but eh.
楽しい文化祭になるかもしれないな。
Especially with the kill him thing from before. Yeah, I'm sure. Exhausted from all the work I'd been doing, I decided to use one of the meal tickets I'd been given. I headed for the cafeteria. But then I realized I'd never used the cafeteria before, and had no idea how it worked. There are a lot of groups that ate there, and I didn't like it. Really? A lot of people ate in cafeteria? Wow. What a revelation. In the end, I gave up. Freaking glass spine. Whatever. So I decided to go out in the courtyard to check on a thought I'd had. The wind chimes that had been set up for the Restoration Festival, and the wishes that were tied to them. Harimura had said it was a secret, but I was interested in seeing what she'd written down. Right, is this one of those where it's like basically a public wish? Anyone can go up and read it? Maybe I get a clue as to who she really was. I tried to find her name among the huge number of wind chimes. There were no clappers inside the chimes. Okay. With so many wind chimes, if there had been, it would have made an incredible noise. I saw several other messages as I searched. Please let everyone be happy, don't let anyone be soon. Oh, there are a lot of platitudes like that. And then I found it. Harimura and I. Please let the truth be found. Da, 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 da. It was just a single line.
本当のことが見つかりますように。Huh?
What did that mean? The truth about the earthquake? Oh no, there was no truth to be found. An earthquake was an earthquake. Why was that the first thought that came to your head? There's an urban legend that the quake had been caused artificially, but there is no way that could be true. What had she meant when she'd written this?
Oh.
I turned around and saw a familiar face.
もうどこ行ってたの？ずっと探してたんだよ。電話しても繋がらないし。
I have a phone? Oh, right, I lost that. My heart raced a little when I heard that.
だからスマホは落としたんだって、お前も知ってるだろ。
そっか。
Dropped my phone at AH Tokyo General Hospital and still didn't have it back. Find my iPhone. It's been around since as long as I can remember. No, I was probably never going to get it back. I had it now. That said... Oh, they were in the picture? Oh, okay. Weird. I didn't notice that. That said... The fact that it's ringing enough for her to think that it's, still active means that it's still on. They might even be charging it for me. They didn't, went and destroyed it or anything else like that. Of course, I filled out the paperwork to have it shut off already. That probably hasn't gone through. The phone itself is locked, so if they try to use it anyway, it should wipe itself. So they probably wouldn't be able to see what was inside, but still the idea of someone else, particularly someone connected to the case, having my phone wasn't a pleasant thought.
新しいの買った方が良くない？
まあ、そうなんだけどさ。
Do I have money to buy a new phone? I spent the whole day reaching into my pocket and being surprised to find it wasn't there. Only now that it was gone that I realized how much I depend on my phone. Yeah, no, it's like, you have phones out there that cost like $1,000+ bucks, right? It's like, oh my goodness, that's so much money. But then when I think about that, it's like I could buy a cheaper one. I mean, not necessarily bad, but the thing is like the amount of use I get out of my phone relative to, like, say my car, $1,000 is chump change relative to that sort of stuff. It's like relative to the money I spend on other stuff. If I have a phone and I use it for 3-4 years, easily worth that, even if it's like $1,000, $2,000 or anything like that. It's an interesting thing, just because it's just one of those things. It was probably a good idea to do what she said and go buy a new one, but the phone was. Have some emotional attachment. Okay, no, I get that. You'd have to have replaced it. You're gonna have to replace it anyway at some point.
タク?
なんでもない。それより何か言おうか。
Did you not back it up? For like stuff like photos and whatnot?
あ、そうだった。とにかく大変なんだよ。
Right. Actually, she looked like she was in a big hurry a moment ago. Also, she seemed like she was in a significant hurry, like, ages ago when she first talked to me.
だから何が？
だからね、とにかく来て。
No. Can I say no? I'm guessing that's a no. I was dragged off again. I lost count of how many times it happened today.
おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様ケロン。
I don't like this. Let's leave. Those voices were from my class's project, the Gero Froggy Cafe. After they said their lines, my classmates all start to do some kind of strange dance. They're making a video that would be displayed in the center of the cafe.
だからオリジナルのゲロカエルは喋らないんだって。
Who cares? Who cares about the original or anything like that? If people can enjoy what's now there, who cares? Whatever. Normally, I would have been forced to spend the day recording them. But since I had dealt with student council, I'd been temporarily released.
で、これがどうしたんだ？
なんか壊れちゃったみたいなの、カメラ。
え？
She pointed to the camera that I'd set up.
音が出ないんだよ。それでみんな困ってて。
Sarah Sanfini reached out and hit the play button. She's right. There's no sound for the camera.
変だな。今朝確認した時にはちゃんと。
I decided to start by checking the camera settings. Ah, so that was it.
これ、誰かが設定いじっただろ。
どうなのかな。
音声出力がスピーカーじゃなくなってる。
I called up the right setting and changed the output method to just output, so technically it still does have the sound. When I switched it over, I suddenly heard a loud laughter and yells coming from the speaker.
あ、本当だ。
Felt a little relieved. They hadn't been able to take the video, who knows what the rest of the class would have said about me.
皆さん、カメラ直りましたよ。撮影しますね。
It was never broken, though. It is what it is.
じゃあ始めんぞ、カメラっ子。
はい、大丈夫です。どうぞ。
Since I was the camera expert, I was put in charge of filming. What a pain in the butt. I don't want to have anything to do with this crap.
じゃあ行くぞ。せーの。
The loud music started to play again, and they all began to dance. But then they weren't happy with the result. First, someone messed up in the choreography. Then they wanted to change their positions. It went on and on and on. I only felt like doing a good job the first few times. They said it was a promotional video, but it really was just a rip-off of something they'd seen on Nico Nia. No matter what I did, it wasn't going to turn out right. But they were still smiling as they danced.
何がそんなに楽しいんだろうな。
ごめん、間違えた。
もうだからそこは右だって右。お箸持つ方よゲロスケ。わかる？
I really didn't care. I hope this would end soon.
ターク、ダメだよ。顔に出てる。
So? I don't care. I can enjoy their shit, but you don't have to force a smile. Just because you're helping them out of obligation.
じゃあお前が代わりにやってくれよ。
タークみたいにかっこよく撮れないもん。
How do I make it look cool? I mean, how much you want to bet that... is he actually like moving around the camera to take the picture, or is he trying to match something on the internet?
おだてても無駄だぞ。
おだててなんていないよ。
Sarka gave an easygoing laugh like she always did. How fine she seemed to say. And then...
ねえ宮代くん、今までの見れる？
Suddenly a girl in the costume talked to me. What was her name? Felt like I talked to her before. Isn't this the one you got wrong before?
見れますよ。
I don't remember what her name is, mind you. It's been probably longer for me than it has been for him, technically.
あれ？ちょっと音が悪くない？
このカメラのマイクって音楽録音用じゃないんだそうです、田中先輩。
Tanaka, so that was her name. Yeah, it's a basic microphone. You're never going to get good sound. Sakura's amazing. I was in the same class and I didn't even know her name. Maybe it's because I'm just bad at remembering names, but I've never really found remembering names all that important.
ありがとう。あ、そういえばさ、新聞部ワタヤンと対談するって本当？
What again?
ニコニアの渡部さんのことですか？本当ですけど。
やっぱマジなの？ちょっとマジだって。
Why is she bringing everyone over here? Okay, so this is the basis of the game, right? Social situation where you have to deal with a variety of people at the same time. Foreboding music. I feel like this might have been the music they used in the lead up to a murder. In the game already. And suddenly I was surrounded.
マジかよ、すげえじゃん。
対談って何すんの？
さあ、よくわかんないんですけど。
Oh, just strip and run naked. I assume he's gonna film it, yeah? Tanaka seemed surprised.
あの動画のことじゃないの？
I mean, he's doing the interview. I was surprised. Even Tanaka knew about it?
てかさ、新聞部っていまいち目立ってないけど、実はすごかったりする？
そんなことは。
They're having an interview with Watayan. That means, and Tanaka started to talk and everyone started to listen. What the heck was going on? Charisma? I knew that Kazuki's classmates in Arimura had talked about it, but I didn't expect my own class to get this excited. Was talking to Watabe that special?
つかよ。んなことよりもう一つの噂。お前、あれってマジなん？
Other rumor?
川原と殴り合ったって。
I almost reached for my cheek, but managed to stop myself.
はあ？マジで？
あ、そういえば少し腫れてる。
A course of wait, how, and why began. Guys, calm down. What was going on here?
すげえな、宮代。お前喧嘩なんかすんの？
いや、喧嘩ってわけじゃ。
で、あれだろ宮代。川原ってことは女帝と関係あんだろ？
いや、まあそうですけど。
Oh, just don't answer! They're gonna take it the wrong way no matter what! Oh my goodness.
何それ何それ、もしかしてノノの取り合い？
No, just say you walked into a damn door.
マジ？かっこいいじゃん。
I couldn't take anymore. Might be a little bit of an overreaction, but I went into the hallway as the girls start to talk about romance. I assume he didn't, like, sprint out of there. It's fine. I leaned up against the wall and sighed. Could I hear the people in the classroom asking where I'd gone? My head hurt. Oh.
タク、大丈夫？
Sarika poked her head out of the classroom. I waved a hand and told her I was fine. Then...
人気者になったね、タク。
Yeah, for a moment. He's going on about how interested they are and how big of a deal and everyone's interested. It's gossip. It's something that's interesting and will grab people's attention for a while. That's the whole point of it. It's not a long-lasting thing. It's not something that is... It might change a little bit about how they perceive him, but in the end, it's never going to be like, you're actually popular, right? Asako was smiling. I had no idea what she was happy about.
お前な。
They were just talking about my interview with Watabe and my argument with Kawahara because it was a good excuse to get excited and have fun. I think they're genuinely interested.
気づいた？
I just think things are fleeting.
何が？
呼び方、カメラっ子から宮代になってたよ。
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Did I?
宮代くん？
Tanaka poked her head out from behind Sarika.
どうしたの？いきなり出てっちゃって。
そのトイレに。
You're still here. It's been like a minute.
あ、そっか。ごめん。
Tanaka scratched her cheek a little. She looked apologetic.
ごめんね。大事な対談とかあるのにダラダラしちゃって。ダンス、次でちゃんと決めるから。
Forgot about that.
私たちも可愛く撮りますから、頑張ってください。
Sarika answered for me.
ありがとう。
As she turned to go back into the classroom, I found myself speaking to her.
田中さん。
何？
Huh? Why was I saying this?
踊りに使ってる曲の音源、後でもらえますか？
それはいいけど、なんで？
最初のセリフ以外は踊ってるだけですから、セリフと音楽を別にして映像に重ねます。それで綺麗な音にできると思います。
そんなことこれからできるの？ありがとう。じゃあそれで。ごめん。トイレ早く行ってきて。
She ran back into the classroom, excited. Well, that made me nervous. I felt so tired. Is she waving the cell phone strap or is she doing a stress thing? I guess she's just waving it. I was wondering, like, oh, is she jealous?
だから何が嬉しいんだよ、お前。
Tanaka's a fun character. I wish she had art, because that would mean she's actually semi-important. I actually like her as a character quite a bit.
タクがね、やる気になってるから。
Particularly because she's just sincere. I haven't seen anything about her that makes me feel as though she tends to be... She seems like someone who just lives life and, you know... lives life in the way that she wants to live it. And I think that's incredibly respectable. If you're not hurting others, you're sincere about your intents, what you want to do, and all that sort of stuff, as well as make that clear to the world and do what you want to and live day to day for, you know, all that sort of stuff. I just sort of respect those sort of attitudes. That said, that also, like I said, if you're not hurting others.
別にそういうわけじゃない。ただ。
ただ
Even if it was cliche for a moment, I thought this whole school festival thing might not be so bad. Like he said, it's an excuse to get fun, or to have fun. They really needed to make a nighttime sky scene. For all the like artwork they have in this game, for the amount of times they've used this as the nighttime sky, and it's just a darkened daytime sky, they really needed to just make art for that. It looks so bad every time it happens, and I'm at a point where it's like, why would you not just make the art at that point? I opened the lid of my Mountain View and took a big gulp, or even like an afternoon one, or like, whatever. Evening, etc., etc. My head finally felt clear. Mountain View was the water of life? Okay, sure. Yeah, okay, so it is night. And you even have like a night sky in this view. You can just make a general night, whatever. By the time I finished helping with the setup for the cafe, the other things the student council had needed me for, it was night. The air in the roof was a little cool in my skin. But still, all the preparations were finished, and the student council, including me and the other helpers, had been running around the whole time. I might end up having to stay the night.
勘弁してほしいよな。
何が？
そりゃいくら文化祭だからって何も泊まってまで。
お疲れ様。
Interesting. You've healed enough for you to come here? And like, dressed up in your uniform and everything, even?
クルス？
For a moment, I doubted what I was seeing, but it was definitely Kurisu.
何やってんだよ。怪我は大丈夫なのか？
いやだ。あんまり重病人扱いしないでほしいわね。
It's been a day. Oh my goodness, she definitely got up and she's exasperating, isn't she? But I could see her face twist in just a little pain. Okay, we're bringing you back. We need to bring you back home. Of course. She'd only been stabbed 2 days. It's just been 2 days? I underestimated how long it had been. Even I knew she had to stay in bed.
重病人扱いも何も重病人だろ。寝てなきゃダメじゃないか。
Whenever me or the other kids got sick, Kurisu was always the one to say, "Don't push yourself too hard. It's okay to rely on people around you." When I told her that, she chuckled.
覚えてるのね。
She seemed a little happy.
気になって少し様子を見に来ただけ。しっかりやってくれてるみたいで、ちょっと安心した。
大丈夫だよ。サボるわけないだろ。
That's not an excuse to get up and come here. I suppose I don't have my phone, but do you even know that?
勘弁してくれって言っていたのに。
それは。
In my defense, I'm asking for a break because I have been doing my job. Kirsten smiled as if she enjoyed watching me choke on my words.
はい、これ。
Kirsten handed me a small bag. It was handmade from felt. Back when I still lived with her, Kirsten had made one for me, Yui, Yudo, and herself, each in a different color. Where had I put mine, come to think of it?
お弁当。あなたのことだから、どうせご飯もちゃんと食べてないんでしょ。
Oh, I had a Mountain View. Mountain views are the source of life, remember?
作ってきたのか。
おにぎりくらいだけどね。
She didn't have time to make anything more, she said. Oh, what was she thinking? Why would she do that when she was injured? I sat down and opened the bag, and there was a little lunchbox inside. Oh, no. I actually expected him to open the bag and there just to be raw food inside. There are 2 big rice balls, a lightly pan-fried hot dog, and some tamagoyaki. She's right. None of that was particularly hard to make.
バランスとか全然で悪いけど。どうしたの？
いや、いただきます。
Suddenly felt really embarrassed. I decided to try and hide it by taking a big bite out of the rice ball. It was a taste I hadn't experienced in a while, and it was one that I used to enjoy all the time.
ねえ、今日のこと聞いてもいい？
Kirsten waited for me to finish, then gently asked me. I looked up and saw that, at some point, she started staring at the stars.
Huh?
At the beautiful, slightly dim sky. No, let's rephrase that. She's staring up at the beautiful, slightly dim day sky.
今日一日何があったのか知りたいの。朝から何があって、あなたがどういうことをしていたのか。
生徒会の手伝いだよ。知ってるだろ。
具体的に聞きたいのよ。あなたの口から直接。
She turned towards me. She seemed very serious about this. I didn't really know what she was thinking, but I felt like I had to give her a real answer.
和樹の手伝いをした。
和樹の？
うん。クラスの展示に使うパーツを運んでほしいって。
そう。和樹喜んでた？
Something about Spark Wars. Can I mention that?
多分。ああ、そういえばスルメくれた。
そう。他には？
有村さんに知らないクラスのパンフレット作りを手伝わされた。
有村さん？
Her eyes narrowed just a little. Arimura was involved in the case, so she probably didn't want me talking to her.
大丈夫だよ。本当にパンフを作らされただけだから。
And sort of semi make a promise? Well, whatever.
そう。それだけなのね。
To be honest, I tried to talk to her a little about the case, but if I told Kirsu that, she'd get worried. So I didn't.
それで、他には？あなたのクラスはどうなの？ゲロカエルン喫茶だったかしら？
ああ、それはなんとか形になったみたいだけど。
あなたが映像の担当なんでしょ？
Yeah, I nodded.
もうほとんど終わってて、残りは明日の朝。映像はもうできてるからそれに音楽を載せるだけなんだ。
朝で間に合うの？
十分だろ。
And honestly, I hadn't expected to be working until the morning of the festival.
でも、今日は泊まり込みになるんでしょ？
Kirsu talked as if it was the most natural thing in the world. I was gonna believe it.
毎年こんなに忙しかったのか？文化祭って。
I never participated, so I had no idea that everyone was doing all this work.
まあね。でも今年は特別。復興祭も近いし、初めての3学年揃っての文化祭だから。
そっか。
We third-year students had been the first class at Hakio Academy. This would be the first year that all 3 grades had a full class at the school.
もう一日中バタバタしすぎてわけがわかんなかったよ。
I've been forced to carry so much stuff that I was getting muscle cramps, and then it was one problem after another. Talking to the new people always made me nervous, and I'd had to do that a bunch of times today. I was really tired.
何？
Kirsu saw me thinking back on the day's events and smiled.
それで？
え？
それで、あなたはどう感じたの？
How did it feel?
大変だったよ。
それだけ？
It's like she could read my mind. Damn it. Oh, just a little awkward as I spoke.
あのさ。
ええ。
うちのクラスとか結構いいやつもいた。
そうなんだ。
うん。明日の渡部との対談楽しみにしてるって。
そう。
Have you heard about that?
あとカメラっ子って言っていたやつが宮代って。
うん。どう？タクル。
何が？
She looked like a mother giving a present to a young child. I was gonna say, she's acting way more motherly in this than big sisterly.
事件なんか追わなくても結構楽しいものでしょ？
Ah, there it is. Ulterior motive.
それは。
I tried to deny it, but I couldn't. That's right. Kurusu had come all this way, even though she was hurt, just to say this.
タクル、帰ってくる気にはなれない？父さんもユイもユウトもそれを望んでる。特にユイがね、あなたがお風呂掃除をしていなかったってうるさいの。
Interesting. I will say, Kurusu, I feel as though you're putting your foot forward a bit quickly. I don't think it's quite as persuasive when you do this so abruptly. All this, even. It makes it very obvious that this is what you're trying to do if you don't get him into the perfect mindset for it, yeah? I can imagine it. He was like a mini Kurusu. The woman definitely had the upper hand in that household.
タクル、もう事件なんか追わないって約束して。帰ってきなさい。手伝ってほしいことたくさんあるの。タクル。
ごちそうさま。
I put the lunchbox back in the bag, stood up and handed it to Kurusu. Then I headed towards the door.
わかった。考えてみるよ。
そう。よかった。
Don't take it as a yes. I could hear Kurusu's footsteps as she tried to catch up to me. But the next moment... She is pushing herself. I heard a small moan. I turned around. Kurusu had crumpled up on the ground, holding her stomach.
おい、クルス。
平気。大丈夫。
She's trying to force herself to smile. There are thick drops of sweat on her forehead.
大丈夫じゃないだろ。
ごめんなさい。
とにかく帰るんだ。タクシー呼ぶから。
I let her lean on my shoulder as we hurried to the front gate as quietly, but quickly as possible.
青葉院までお願いします。
I got her loaded inside the taxi and told the driver where to go.
タクル。さっきのこと考えておいて。
Fine, I get it. I moved away so I could shut the door. Would she be manipulative enough to fake being hurt more to drive home the point?
タクル。ありがとう。
That's a nice effect, switching the focus like that.
何が？
何がだろうね。
The door closed and the taxi disappeared down the road. Usually, everyone calls her the Empress, and she acted like my big sister. Now she looked weak, as if the big brother As if I was the big brother and she was the little sister.
あ、そうだ、ユイ。
I remember Yui when I thought of little sisters. I need to send her a message about Kurusu. From my phone from my phone I don't have. I put my hand in my pocket and once again realized my phone wasn't there. Damn it. How many times has this happened today? I'd have to ask Sarika.
宮代？
Uh-oh.
川原くん。
Had he seen Kurusu here?
何かあったのか？あ、いや、そうじゃありませんけど。そうか。
From the way he was acting, he probably hadn't seen her, right? If he had seen her, he wouldn't be acting this way. He'd probably blame me for putting so much strain on Kurusu and hit me again.
ほら。
Or he's starting to get the message that she's doing it on her own volition and not trying to constantly blame him for all her actions. At least exclusively him. To the point where he's just making things worse by punching people and stuff like that. Kawahara tossed something at me.
Oh!
I almost dropped it, but managed to grab it at the last second. It was a can of coffee.
飲めよ。いや、でも泊まり込みになるからな。はあ、どうも。
He opened another can for himself and took a drink, then looked around the courtyard. There were stalls lined up, each covered in flashy decorations. All the preparations were finished around here.
クルスが来れないって分かった時はどうなるかと思ったけど、なんとか形になりそうだな。うん。
What was going on? Kawahara kept glancing over at me, as if he was waiting for the right moment to say something. Eventually, he took a big sip of his coffee and said,
悪かったな。
Well, at least he's mature enough to realize when he just makes things worse with some of his actions, so good on you for being able to admit the fault and apologize and try to move on. Well, assuming he tries to move on. He pointed to my cheek. Oh yeah, that's probably a nice reminder. Every time you look at someone that you dislike and then you remember that you already did something sort of shitty to them, and you probably feel guilt every time he probably feels guilt every time he sees me. I forgot about that. I knew he was talking about hitting me.
いえ、悪かったのは僕ですから。
He began to speak hesitantly. Actually, see.
あの日の次の朝、クルスから電話があったんだ。できればお前に謝ってほしいっつってな。そんなの気にすることないですよ。まあな。そりゃそうなんだけどよ。
Kawahara sighed, stretched, and leaned up against the school gate.
癖かもな。小学生の時からあいつは委員長っつうか、いつもリーダーみたいなことやってたからな。
Okay, maybe I should take back the respect I had for him. He did it on an order.
小学生の時からあんなだったんですか。
Both Kurusu and Kawahara went to the same public elementary school. I'd gone to a different private one. Interesting.
とにかく面倒見が良くてな。みんなあいつのこと好きだったよ。特に俺とあともう一人。地震で死んじまったけど、南沢ってやつはいつもクルスと一緒にいた。3人でよくつるんでたんだよ。
Minamisawa. That feels very familiar for some reason. Have we heard that name before? I don't remember, but...
知ってるか？あいつ小学校の頃は毎年リレーの選手だったんだぜ。
I was really surprised. She didn't seem to be that bad at sports, but she certainly didn't seem to like them. She can do a spin on the horizontal bar. She must have found my reaction funny because Kawahara continued in a more... he must have found my reaction funny because Kawahara continued in a more upbeat tone.
あの地震で大怪我してな。今はそうでもないけど、しばらくは歩くのさえ大変そうにしてたんだ。
I'd had no idea. When I'd woken up a year after the earthquake, I hadn't seen any sign of that. She's probably gone through a lot of hard rehab while I'd been in a coma.
その影響で運動はほとんどしなくなった。一度だけ運動部に誘ったんだが、断られたよ。
そうだったんですか。
There was a moment of awkwardness. I didn't know what to do. Couldn't think of it. I never talked to Kawahara like this before.
文化祭盛り上げられるだけ盛り上げようぜ。あいつから任されたんだからな。
Us, eh? You consider me a part of that? Or him a part, I don't know. Kawahara turned away from me and walked back to the school building.
そうか。
I realized that he'd been acting weird all day because he was waiting for a chance to apologize. Oh. These sumo sticker memes will have you dying. It's a collection of the stupidest memes for sumo stickers appearing in Shibuya. I sort of want to read those. I do sort of want to read those. Mysterious sticker that started appearing in Shibuya around 2007. They're called sumo stickers because the face looks like that of a fat man. That's really weirdly blurry. I have no idea what that says. I am actually sort of curious, though. Boop. Terrible memes. Don't call me a sumo sticker, call me Mr. Sumo Sticker! That's horrible. No, also horrible. Now I'm getting... Is that what it says? Now I'm getting excited. What about this? I don't know. I don't get that. Those who put their feet in the ring have danced with hard luck. I don't get that. Make peace. I don't get that. It's a joke. There's a Vocaloid song. The boss tells me to put up the stickers with the cannon, but what? That man. Like memes, it's weird because like I find memes as being like this funny thing, but like I've never gotten people who get like weirdly obsessed with them. Like they take the same joke and they run it into the ground over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like they're like okay jokes, a lot of memes. There's some really good ones too, but the act of sharing them, I've never understood. It feels like it's just people that want to be in like an inside. They want to be in on the inside joke that memes are, because that's basically what a meme is. It's a giant inside joke.
それじゃあ消すよ。
Okay, well, I'm going to call that an episode. That should be all the way there. Well, we're not at the point of the festival yet. It sounds like next time we're going to be there. I'll repeat my thought that this feels like it's definitely a slow start to the story. Especially, I guess this part in particular feels like it's really dragged a bit. I think partially due to the fact that they want to build up the human drama element of the story. And I will say this now too. I may change my mind later. But the human drama part of it, Mr. MC and his troubles, and particularly the Kurisu and the whole family element, it's like, it's not bad. It just feels a lot less interesting than the mystery elements of the story. So when they go away from it for like a long period of time, and they don't really address the rest of it, that may be a bigger contributor to feeling like it's a bit more drawn out. If they were still in the mystery and building that up consistently for the past couple hours, when they really haven't been for the past... I guess they've had a little bit here and there, but they've been more like teasers than they have been really building up the mystery. I don't know. I'm trying to explain why it feels like it's dragging, and I might be doing a horrible job at it, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm very hopeful the next episode. We'll jump right into it because this interview thing sounds very interesting. And they've been building up to it for a while. So, I'll see y'all next time. Drive safely, everyone.